People rave about Dubai's flash and promises, but is it all smoke and mirrors or a strategic place to invest your money? That's what I'll be digging into in this video, so that you have a clearer idea of where to invest in your next luxury property. Picking between the US and Dubai is the big question, and it's worth thinking about what each brings to the table. The US has this reputation for luxury that's hard to beat. Cities like New York, Miami, and Los Angeles have been hubs for extravagant homes for a long time. A penthouse in Manhattan feels like a safe bet, because those areas have steady demand from wealthy buyers, both local and from overseas. The market there moves at a calm pace, which suits someone who likes predictability. Dubai is a different story. It's growing fast, and people talk about it becoming a major player for luxury properties. A villa on Palm Jumeirah sounds exciting because the city's still expanding, drawing in expats who need places to live. It doesn't have the same long track record as the US, but that's what makes it intriguing. You're betting on where it's going, not just where it's been. For me, it's about whether I'd rather stick with something I know will hold steady or take a chance on a place that could see bigger jumps in value. One thing to consider is how connected you feel to either market. Knowing the local scene can make a difference in spotting the right opportunity. Something else to consider is regulations, because nobody wants to lose their investment to a shady deal. In the US, the system's been around a long time and feels pretty solid. Every state has a board that keeps an eye on real estate deals. If you're looking at a high-end condo in New York, you can check online to make sure the agent is licensed through the state's records, like the New York Department of State's public license search portal. It's a straightforward way to know you're not handing your money to someone who'll disappear. The Securities and Exchange Commission also watches over investment options, so if you're putting cash into a fund tied to luxury properties, there's oversight there too. In Dubai, they've got the Dubai Land Department and the Real Estate Regulatory Agency focused on keeping things in line. You can look up companies on their public registers to confirm they're legit before you commit to a villa. One thing I like about Dubai is the escrow accounts they use now. Your money stays locked up until the property's finished, which means you're covered if the developer doesn't deliver. Both places have strong setups, but Dubai's still newer at this game. It's had some issues with scams in the past, so taking a few minutes to verify who you're working with can save you a lot of trouble down the road. For peace of mind, I'd always ask for proof of regulation and check it myself, no matter which market I'm in. Taxes are a huge part of this decision, and they're worth understanding fully. In the US, you've got a few layers to deal with. When you sell a property, you could have to pay a tax on the profit. Buy a condo in Miami and sell it later for more, and part of that gain could have to go to the government. You're also paying property taxes every year based on the home's value, plus income tax if you rent it out. It's not a small chunk, and it can shrink what you walk away with. Dubai's completely different right now. They don't have those taxes. Sell a villa, and all the profit is tax-free. Rent out an apartment, and you keep pretty much every dirham. That's a big reason people get drawn to it. The flip side is that if you take that money back to the US, you might still owe something there, depending on where you're based. For me, Dubai's tax setup looks appealing, but I'd want to sit down with someone who understands tax regulations to figure out what happens when I cash out. If you're investing from a distance, there are ways to get in without being hands-on, and that's worth exploring. In the US, they've got real estate investment trusts, or REITs. You buy into them like stocks, and they own pieces of luxury buildings in places like New York or Miami. It's an easy way to get started without dealing with tenants, and you can expect decent returns over time. Dubai has REITs too, owning spots like luxurious towers you've probably heard about. They work the same way, letting you join the market without much work. There are also private companies in Dubai, where you can buy a share of a property, though you need to make sure they're regulated by checking the public records. The US has some of that too, but it's less common for high-end properties. Either way, you're still handling currency moves and taxes, so it's not totally simple. I'd look at how much time I want to spend on this. REITs keep it low effort, which might suit someone who's busy but still wants a piece of the action. Buying a property outright is another option, and it's more hands-on. In the US, you could pick up a big condo in Miami and take charge. You choose the tenants, fix things when they break, and keep all the gains. It takes a lot of cash or a loan to get going, and you're responsible for upkeep, like if the air conditioning goes out. Dubai's got something similar with off-plan properties, like a villa on Palm Jumeirah. You can pay over time, which helps spread the cost, and if it's worth at least 2 million dirhams, you get a golden visa for 10 years of residency. That's a perk the US doesn't offer so directly. Residency there takes more steps. The risk with off-plan is if construction hits delays, though escrow accounts mean your money's safe until it's done. I'd think about whether I'm up for managing a place myself or if I'd rather let someone else handle the details. Sticking local in the US feels comfortable if you're already there. A huge estate in Beverly Hills has that prestige, and you know how things work. Banks, rules, tenants. It's not wild growth, but it's steady, and renting it out brings in good income. The catch is that it's expensive to get in, and economic changes can slow things down a bit. In Dubai, buying local means jumping into a market that's buzzing. An off-plan apartment in downtown Dubai could grow a lot as more people move in, and expats are always looking to rent. The golden visa's a nice bonus if you hit that 2 million dirham mark. I'd consider how much I trust my gut on a market. The US feels like a known quantity, while Dubai's got that energy of something on the rise. Getting into either market has its paths, and they're worth laying out. In the US, REITs and stocks tied to luxury developers are simple and pay off over time. Buying directly, like a condo in New York, means cash or a loan and picking a spot with strong demand, like near Central Park. Dubai's got REITs and developer shares too, plus off-plan buys with payment plans and financing options that fit local preferences, like Islamic mortgages. Location matters a lot. Think Miami's reliable renters versus Dubai Marina's expat crowd pulling in leases fast. I'd look at what matches my situation, how much I'm ready to put in, and where I see myself long-term. Sometimes I think about what it would be like to actually live in one of these luxury properties, not just own it for the investment. Think about staying in a sprawling estate in Aspen in the US. You're tucked away in the mountains with snow outside and a fireplace going, and it's yours to enjoy whenever you want. The catch is getting there. Flights and drives add up, especially if you're not nearby most of the year. Properties like that usually sit empty unless you've got a good plan for renting them out short-term, which takes some organizing. That level of privacy and seclusion is harder to come by in Dubai, but it's got different perks. For example, let's say you invest in a sleek apartment in Burj Al Arab's shadow. You step out and the city's right there. Restaurants, beaches, all of it within reach. It's built for people who want to be in the middle of things. Though the heat can make you think twice about spending too much time outside, I'd weigh whether I want that quiet escape or the constant buzz of a place that never slows down. Then there's the bragging rights, which matter more than I'd admit out loud. Telling someone you've got a penthouse overlooking Chicago's skyline carries weight. It's a classic move that everyone gets. The US has that old money vibe in its luxury spots, and people notice. Dubai's flashier about it. Mention you own a place on the Palm, and eyes widen because it's bold and new, almost like you're part of the future. The trade-off is that some people still see it as a gamble, not a sure thing. I'd think about who I'm trying to impress and whether I want that nod of respect or the gasp of surprise. Both locations can make sense, depending on what you're after. I'd say think about what you want: steady income, bigger gains, or maybe a place to stay, and weigh that against how each market feels to you. Are you leaning more toward the US or Dubai for where you want to buy your next luxury property? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there.